Welcome. It's almost Lionsgate. Officially, well, 8-8 portal, but Lionsgate is open. And this is where Sirius and the sun line up with the Great Pyramid. And one day I'll remember it's Giza. I really don't give a fuck, guys. I'm sorry. Boy, that was harsh. Yeah. We're in that time, right? We're just in that time where there's so much light. There's so much dark. And being burnt by the flames and understanding what that means and taking it all with a grain of salt and laughing it off because it's time. This is the most magical time within the heavens. So we're just going to take some healing energy in, and we're going to exhale some toxic energy. Healing breath in, toxic breath out. Healing energy in, toxic energy out. Healing energy in, toxic energy out. Okay. We've been empty to fill back up. Thank you to the light. Get your light codes, right? The best thing you could do is spend time with the light. Light is information. And last time we met up, we discussed how we're healing with the dark and what is negative and what that means, because negative can mean a lot of things. There's degrees of negativity, and there's a positive found in every negative. We're also in a time where a lot of information is coming out within the collective. So it's time to surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness, but we're not going to look at it like that. We're looking at it as you're healing with your nervous system. You know you're in lower vibrations. You know, we're going to change how this is put. We're going to look at it for what it is. It's not like, oh, this is the sign of weakness, so now you have to feel bad about yourself and get back into the victim template. This is being able to see when you're feeling defensive what it is, and to step back and be with God and be with yourself and figure it out. And maybe you need to take a break. Doing the work is taking a break from the work. Sometimes doing the work is seeing you're avoiding the work and doing the work. This is about communicating in a more empowered way. Stay centered and hear someone else, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So I was watching a video about someone talking about how sacred geometry has been inverted and sacred geometry is bad. Well, these are my words. Their words a little bit longer. Oh, and sacred geometry has been hijacked by AI, and it's a part of AI, and it's been inverted. So I was thinking to myself, okay, but this doesn't resonate with me because sacred geometry is a part of nature. It's a part of us. Like, you can literally look at sacred geometry, and you can look at, like, a literal, like, the egg, like an egg that's been fertilized growing, and it matches up with the patterns within sacred geometry. There's sacred geometry within nature. There's sacred geometry within our food. This is natural. This is God. Like, to put a fear on sacred geometry and then label it in, you know, being used in the New Age community. Well, all this is, like, it's really easy to label and then blame the New Age community because it's all new. It's like the old is always attacking the new, but the new is a part of the old, and everything is a part of creation. And trying to separate it is madness. But then seeing how it's all whole is madness. But We're evolving past that. We're evolving past that. And everybody's at a different layer on their quest. But these quests are hard because your belief systems can be knocked out within a heartbeat. Now what? This is where you have to hold strong with God, and you're finding your way, and you're finding your way with your light and the light and what is a part of you and your quest and your path. And you're going to be tested on this quest, on your path. Will you waver? Who are you? What's your authenticity? And if your authenticity is questioned, yeah, there's a part of you that's naturally going to be okay with it because it's who you are. But then there's going to be a part of you that's going to want to defend yourself and fight back because you're whole. Raw intention is being honored here with LIONSGATE. This portal. You're finding your strength to face your fears. Now, the High Priestess has been activated. There's a connection to working with animals. And as you can see, these trees, their bark looks like a rainbow. There's something to say. It's like when you ground in your light, you get your light codes from within the earth. And you also are getting the light from without, and light is information, food is information. You're in alchemy within your environment and you're getting information. But this is the key. As within, so without. So as you do this inner work with your inner landscape, it's an alchemy of what's without. And you're seeing something. You're seeing something that's only for you to see. That's of your raw intention. That's your way with your light. And what is your intention? And your intention does matter. What you believe does matter. To you. When you're being forged in the fire, it isn't for the weak. But honoring the weakness is part of it. Honoring the defensiveness is part of it. Honoring it all is part of it. Trust the guidance you're receiving. You have been blessed with a brilliant epiphany. I am also present to clear away your worries so you can trust your divine guidance. This is about staying the course. Don't panic. You're not on the wrong path. You're just having a bumpy start. Learn from your experiences and keep going. So see, this sword is here to clear away your worry. And to tell you to keep going. And there's a sword here. This is the sword of clarity. This is the sword of truth. This sword is of raw intention and action. And you know you're ready for more. Your career is growing and blossoming. Now is the time to make changes you've been contemplating. Here's a perfect example of some sacred geometry from nature right here. We're going to the quantum oracle. It's time to shift. Shift dimensions from within. Alright. Spirit is here, and the Ascended Masters with the connection to a shift in consciousness of great gratitude. This has to do with the symbol. We were discussing the last time we met up, and as I said that on my counter, it was 1111. And how we were talking about how that's the air element. The dark mother of creation. This is enlightenment with the positive. It has to do with this sign, this symbol right here. And expanding your consciousness. This is getting more like opposite forces in balance. And expanding with the mind's eye. It's the all-seeing eye on a pyramid. And that's what this is. And it's working with the air element. It's thoughts. The master of intellect, detail and follow through as symbolized by the all-seeing eye on the pyramid. Now is a good time to finish a project that requires some mental attention. Guiding you in matters concerning science and discovery, and even in mediumship and spirit communication. And that's what's happening here, is spirit communication. And remember, it's through truth and getting your thoughts in truth and in alignment with your heart. And this is allowing you to blossom, because remember, you're blossoming right now. You're flowering. It's LIONSGATE, right? It's summertime. Through the negative, though, we talked about this. METATRONS cube and the collapse of time, and getting your thoughts in alignment with your desires by sensing with the mother, working with the negative. Also grounding and getting your light codes through the earth. Finding the positive in your positives within your negatives and expanding with Christ consciousness. This is also working with the sun. Spending time in the sun. So think about that. You're getting light codes while you ground from the earth, within the earth, but which the light is information, right? But the earth is healing you. And you can look into grounding, you can find out all the which ways. And then you're getting your light codes from the sun, because remember, light is information as you absorb that through your skin. And this is expanding your electromagnetic energy field. But this is happening through purification, and it's of truth. That's why the sword is here. It's intellectual, for intellectual clarity, but it's new. It's discovering what's new through you, with your light, and what you are co-creating during this season. And understanding that you're literally flowering with your own light. Like you're flowering here. And within where you house God, within your pineal gland. Alright. There's a bridge right there. There's a portal of transformation. Where you're shifting to as you have got your light in order. That's what this is about. Getting your light in order. And expanding from the lower chakras. From you understanding that this is your powerhouse. Your powerhouse is, it's like creation is happening within your lower chakra center here, and you're pushing it up. But this is when you untwist it and you hear your desires rather than your thoughts. When you hear your desires first over your thoughts, you've untwisted it. But remember, you have to work with the mother, the element of water. You have to face your negatives. And work with also the element of earth, which is the daughter, which is a very passive energy. The mother is sensing. We have the father is action, force, and the son being thought. The element of air. Father fire needs to talk to mother water. There's a creative endeavor here. With an increase. There's an increase here as you blossom. Alright, I look forward to seeing you when we officially have our 8/8 message. Until then, much love.
Hello, August. Give me a pleasant surprise. Wishes come true. Prayers answered. And a great life.